Hi Satish, my name is Ellen and I'll be correcting these essays for you. I'm very happy to see that you've begun the course and that you have started sending us essays as part of the program. So let's take a look at this first set. The first one is about schools and if they should be more entertaining. It's asking which do you agree with? Let's see what you said. There has been a discussion about schooling, whether its only purpose should be to educate the students or it should also focus on other entertaining activities to make studying more interesting. In my opinion, pupils enroll into school for studying. However, this only should not be the sole purpose. In this essay, I shall discuss how other activities as well help students to build a career in a better way. Okay, this is good. There was one little thing I want to fix up here. You're missing an if because you say whether, if it should also focus. Okay, so that would have been grammatically correct. And then we don't enroll into school. We can enroll in school. So just those two issues. I'm wondering if this was a little repetitive only in soul. However, this only should be its purpose. However, this should not be the sole purpose. Yeah, I think that you didn't need both only and soul since they're very similar in meaning, and it just becomes kind of repetitive. So you could have changed that as well. Let's see. Now, I'm not a huge fan of to embark with. We don't really say that. It's not particularly natural, and I know that some students like this, but it's something I would advise you to avoid. You could go with something like, firstly, but yeah, not to embark with. You could have said to begin, even that would have been okay. So, yes. All right. So, to begin, the main reason behind admitting offspring into school is to provide the quality education which might not be possible in homeschooling. There's some grammar issues here. Let's finish the paragraph first and see. Nonetheless, the advancements in the syllabus and competitive exams have increased a lot of burden for the scholars, which eventually puts them in stress and makes them anxious, which is a worsening situation for them. Hence, extracurricular activities help students to feel relaxed, which help them to increase their efficiency furthermore. Okay, so there's quite a bit that I want to fix here. First of all, some of the grammar needs to be fixed, and then we have to talk about some of the content. So let's look at the paragraph one more time. To begin, the main reason behind, you see, I didn't really care for this sentence. This is not about homeschooling. I mean, so I don't understand why you even brought that concept in at all. I don't think that was such a wise thing to do, because your topic sentence, which is what this sentence here is, it's supposed to give us the central idea of the paragraph, and all of a sudden you're introducing this idea of homeschooling, which had nothing to do with the essay. So I would have rewritten that rather differently. Let's see. You know what? You could have just stopped here. So let's try that. To begin with, the main reason behind admitting children into school is to provide quality education, full stop. And that's it. Everything else is either inaccurate or it's just superfluous. So it needs to be removed. So nonetheless, the advancements in, and what does that mean, the advancements in the syllabus? So that didn't really make sense to me. You didn't explain it. Why are there advancements in the syllabus, and what exactly does that mean for a syllabus to be advanced? Okay, I did understand it's about competitive exams, so let's remove this part for a moment. Nonetheless, competitive exams have increased a lot of the burden for students, which eventually not puts them in stress. That's also not an accurate expression. You want to say which eventually causes them stress or makes them stressed. Makes them stressed and anxious, which is, why is it worsening? It's something that gets worse and worse as it continues. That wasn't really clear to me either. Which is a negative situation, which is a terrible situation, maybe that would have been better. And then, so yeah, I didn't really understand all of this. And then all of a sudden, you're introducing this idea about extracurricular activities. Remember that extracurricular activities and entertaining schools are not synonymous. So an extracurricular activity is not always entertaining. For example, when I was in school, some of my extracurricular activities were community service or debate club. Those weren't entertaining. I mean, I did them for other reasons, but they certainly weren't entertaining. When we think of entertaining, we think of fun, we think of joyful, we think of lighthearted, we think of amusement. Okay? And in this way, IELTS is essentially testing your vocabulary indirectly. So this whole thing was about something else, and then you threw in this idea about extracurricular activities. For me, it was off topic. Okay? If you had said, hence, entertaining activities help students to feel relaxed, that would have been better, but you need to develop that. You need to go into some detail about that. Reading your paragraph again, Satish, I'm not really sure what the central idea is, because you started with one thing. You said that, what did you tell us in these sentences? There's like 3 sentences in this paragraph. So you told us firstly that children go to school to learn. You said that competitive exams gives them a lot of stress. And then you said that these activities helps relax them. So I'm not really sure what your central idea is. I can tell you that you essentially had 3 ideas in this paragraph, and it certainly didn't follow the template, okay? So I want to advise you to follow the template, especially in the beginning. Follow it a little more closely, and make sure you're including all the components. So make sure you're including support. Make sure that you have a topic sentence and a conclusion sentence that mirror one another, all right? So let's keep going. In addition to this, other entertaining activities like music, dancing, acting, and even sporting not only help students to feel rejuvenated, but also it opens a pathway to build a career in those fields of their interests. Okay, so first of all, there's no reason to capitalize these, number 1. Number 2, again, now you're calling these entertaining activities. I'm not entirely convinced. Are they extracurricular? Yes. Are they not academic necessarily? Maybe. They're not academic in the sense that maths or science or history are. But I also don't entirely agree with calling them entertaining. These are entertaining if you are watching them, but if you're actually participating in them, they're not always entertaining. Okay, ask any performer, and he or she will tell you that they feel very stressed. They feel, a great deal of anxiety when performing and doing an activity. Anyone who, studies music can tell you how much practice is involved, and it's not always entertaining. So I want you to also be careful with your interpretation of the word entertaining. Let's see. Okay, it also opened, and then the grammar here was wrong. So other entertaining activities, but also they open a pathway to build a career in those fields of interest. They can choose by trying out various available options at schools, which helps them to understand what they liked and enjoyed the most. For example, there are many sports persons, I would have said sports people here, and other famous celebrities around us who started following their passion along with their study from not their school time, let's see, along with their study at school. So they started following their passion or how about this? They started following their passion while still at school. To me, that would have been even more natural. To conclude, I strongly agree that there are many benefits of providing a platform for other activities which help children to explore new possibilities along with their study. Hence, this idea should be welcomed. Okay, I like this. I already told you my concern with these activities that you selected, that you didn't entirely understand what they meant by entertaining activities. What they really mean here is things like games in the classroom, role play, fun activities that are part of the learning environment, okay? So it could be like I said, games. It could be little fun competitions in the classroom. So adding this element into learning. Okay, or even sometimes watching movies also. So there are a variety of different things that you could have talked about. Let's talk about this one about skills and creativity and reading. Let's see what you wrote. Although reading is believed to be the best way to learn new things, there has been here you're missing an argument that learning can be enhanced by adopting other creative activities. There are many factors affect while I don't understand the grammar here. There are many factors. I don't understand this here. While studying something new, like the age of student, the subject, and the methodology of studying. And I believe that creative and interactive ideas boost the information gathering more effectively. Okay. I don't understand what all of this is about, the age, the subject, and the methodology. Anyway, I suspect that I will understand in your body paragraphs, so let's read them. First, if we consider the younger children, then they may not be aware about all the alphabets and grammar, which is the main requirement while reading. Hence, they may find it a bit difficult, which can be eased out by adopting other methodologies, which can make them understand easily, either via story or even the videos. All right, let's stop. Take a look at this. You've got one sentence. This is all one sentence, Satish. It's really just way too long. You had a lot of dependent clauses, so you had plenty of opportunity to break this into pieces that would have been, number one, more grammatically accurate, but number two, would have been easier for your reader to understand. Okay, just look at this. You have which is the main requirement, hence they may find, which can be eased out, which can make, okay, it's just too much. So you don't want to do this. In fact, looking at this paragraph, it's 2 sentences long. You don't want to do that. You want to have, several sentences to each paragraph, but they need to be manageable pieces so that they don't lose coherence. So if we consider younger children, then they may not know all the letters and grammar which are required for reading. Hence, they may find this task a little bit difficult. Okay? So that's where I would have stopped this sentence. Then, this can be eased by adopting other methodologies which make them understand easily, either via story or with videos. And then you can stop there. For instance, consider 2 toddlers. The one who learns alphabets by reading may take more time than the other one who learns by watching YouTube videos of it, as the colors, objects, and song used in the video helps them grasp it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it refers to. Easily as they find it more interesting. All right, so this is an interesting idea, but it's not entirely clear because of your pronoun. It wasn't clear what you were referring to. I still think that this needed more development. So what is this about? This is about whether a child develops more skills and creativity through reading or through a fun activity. So what is this paragraph about again? You need to have a topic sentence which says that certain activities for younger children may be more effective in gaining skills than reading. Okay, so this way it kind of orients us to what this paragraph is about. And then you can say the sentence that we split. and then you could talk about this, okay? So then you can have a summary sentence which says something along the lines of, therefore, literacy for early learners can be more easily achieved through fun activities rather than reading. Okay? And that's how you would do it. So I would add a sentence here and I would add that sentence at the end to really bring everything together and then do the other changes that I suggested. Secondly, not the reading, but reading. Reading requires a lot of concentration, hence the trainee may get bored over the long periods of continued reading. This exertion can be reduced by adopting more practical approaches. As an example, in school and colleges, many long and difficult theories of physics and chemistry subjects are being taught easily with practical sessions. These methodologies boost the learner's way of imagination and understanding, which may not be possible simply by reading, and can also be forgotten over a period of time if things are not clear enough while reading. Okay, you need to stick to the template. So remember, you need a better topic sentence, a clear topic sentence which orients the reader, and then a conclusive sentence that brings it back to that first sentence. I also wasn't really very happy with the development here for a couple of reasons. It's talking about a child, okay? So you're talking about schools and colleges, physics and chemistry. So I felt like you were talking about a much, much older age here. So I didn't really feel like the development of this was particularly on topic. Furthermore, there was another issue that you neglected to talk about. It talks about skills and creativity. I haven't read anything about how children can acquire creativity through enjoyable activities, or through reading for that matter. Okay? So it's important to mention it because the people at IELTS, they obviously thought it was important enough to separate it from the other skills, which is why it says skills and creativity. So they want you to spend time talking about this. Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure what skill children are adopting here. So I was really rather confused about this. Again, I'm just going to tell you to stick to the template, especially now in the beginning, and you'll find that you need to just really essentially plug in just some pieces of information in order to really make this come together as a cohesive paragraph. Let's take a look at your conclusion. To conclude, I strongly believe that adopting creative ways of learning makes it easier for the student to understand the concept much easier. Okay, not much easier, easier please. Look, easier makes it easier, and the best way which cannot be forgotten easily. Okay, so I do feel like there's some misunderstanding of this topic. You're talking about adopting creative ways of learning. That's not what they're talking about here. They're talking about developing skills and creativity. So there is a little bit of a disconnect. I do see a lot of nice things in your writing, but I also see that there are things that we need to work on, like the template, like task achievement for sure, as well as some structural elements here for sure as well. All right, so go ahead and correct these essays. Write a new set of essays incorporating all the things you're learning. Begin your error correction list, and then send all three of those things together in an email to us, ideally in the next day or so. All right, so I'll be waiting for that, and I want to wish you good luck. Oh, before I bid you goodbye for today, I do want to address your questions. So, okay, yes, the answer here is yes. You can, if it's a very straight agree or disagree, I'll be honest with you. All the IELTS examiners that I talk to tell me that, you know what, it really doesn't matter. What they essentially want to see is a well-developed, well-structured, well-argued essay. So if you really want to be a purist, then I would tell you when it says, do you agree or agree, then answer the question and either agree or disagree. However, the fact is that some of these arguments are not so clear-cut. And so that's why examiners like myself say, really, just, argue well. It's okay to say, you know what, both. I both agree and disagree. Or it is mainly a positive development, however, it has some drawbacks. That's okay as well. All right. But again, if you really want to play it safe, then you can just choose to develop one side. Okay, so I'm giving you a little mixed information here. My point is that all the examiners that I know, we all say that it really doesn't matter and that you can discuss both sides. However, I think that a more conservative approach is to just stick to one when you have this type of question. Okay? All right, then. No, do not take a stand just in the conclusion. When they ask you your question directly, you should address it in the introduction. That's how you will ensure that your viewpoint is clear throughout the response. So starting in the introduction, developing your body, and then stating it once again in the conclusion. So taking a partial stand does not reduce your band score. There are other things that reduce your band score. One thing that you absolutely want to do is you want to make sure that you express that you're taking a partial stand in your introduction, okay? And then you have to explain it well, and you have to explain it clearly, and you have to develop it, okay? So that's the important thing here. Now, I think you asked about band scores. We're not able to give band scores. Regardless of our background and our training to give band scores, it's still not a wise idea. So no, I'm afraid we're not able to do that for you, okay? But because we do refer to the band descriptors very often in the corrections, if you can access them, they're available all over the place online, you can kind of understand where you are based on the comments that we make, okay? So go ahead and get started with your next homework, and we'll meet back here with that. Good luck.